Good morning. This morning we will be looking at the brachial plexus. Now, the brachial plexus is a set of nerves, a network of nerves that run from the spinal cord to the arm and the hands. And we are going to do some tests to check, see if everything is working normal and fine with these nerves. So I will be doing 5 tests on the 5 nerves of the brachial plexus. All right, for our first test, we're going to be testing the musculocontineous nerve. And I'm going to ask my subject, Felicia, to flex her elbow. And I'm going to apply some resistance to that. All right? So, Felicia, flex your elbow for me, please. And here is it that I'm applying resistance. She's going to continue flexing, pulling stiffly. And this is basically testing the musculocontineous nerve. All right? Now, my justification for doing this test on Felicia is that the musculocontineous nerve innervates the muscles involved in the elbow flexion, such as the biceps, the brachii, the brachioradialis. It also provides sensory innervation to the lateral forearm. For our second test, we are going to be testing the median nerve. All right? And with this, I'm going to ask Felicia to do open her hands. Open and close her hands. Open and close. Open and close. Then I'm going to ask her to rest her hands. Okay. As you see, these movements are good. Now I'm going to ask her to do the 2-digit grip. All right. Then I'm going to ask her to do the 3-digit grip. All right, as you see. Then I'm going to ask her to do the index grip. All right. My justification for doing these tests on Felicia: the median nerve innervates the muscles of the anterior forearm responsible for the thumb position, such as the flexor pollicis longus and the muscles of the thenar eminence. It also provides sensory innervation to the palmar aspect of the lateral 3 and the half fingers. Now, this third test, we'll be testing the ulnar nerve. And I'm going to be asking Felicia to stretch out her hands, and she's going to abduct and adduct her fingers. Go ahead for me, Felicia. Abduct, adduct. Abduct, adduct. Adduct, abduct. Right. Now, this has a resemblance of playing the piano. And my justification for doing this test on the ulnar nerve is that the ulnar nerve innervates the intrinsic muscles of the hand, including the hypothenar muscles, the introsea muscles, and the medial to the lumbric muscles. It is also provides sensory innervation to the palmar and the dorsal aspects of the medial 1.5 fingers. So, the ulnar nerve, adduct, abduct, is the test I would use. Okay. Now, we come to the 4th nerve of the brachial plexus, and this would be the radial nerve. And I'm going to ask Felicia to flex her hands for me, please. Right. Now, she would have flexed her hands, but now I'm asking her to extend them. So she's going to do a continuous flexing and extending. Flexing and extending. All right, and this helps to show how the radial nerve works in extending and flexing the arm. Sorry. Now, my justification for this test. Felicia, can raise your hands, please. My justification for this: the radial nerve is responsible for the extension of the elbow joint, as it innervates the tricep brachii muscle. It also provides sensory innervation to the posterior arm, forearm, and also the dorsal hand. So the extension and the flexion, this is where the radial nerve comes into play. Alright, now we're down to the final nerve, and this is called the axillary nerve. Now, in this test, I'm going to be applying some resistance to Felicia while she shoulder abducts. Right? So she'll be shoulder abducting against resistance. Abducting, sorry, against resistance. So I'm going to ask Felicia to raise her hand, and she's going to abduct the shoulder. So as she is raising the hand, I am now applying resistance to see, the pressure that she has to deal with. All right? So this would be the test I would use to test that nerve, the axillary nerve. Now, my justification for this test: the axillary nerve innervates the deltoid muscle, which is primarily responsible for shoulder abduction, which is arm raises to the side, to laterally. It also provides sensory innervation to the superior lateral aspect of the shoulder. So, for each of these tests, I would have given a justification as to why I chose these tests to check for motor and sensory innervation from both the spinal cord to the arm and hand. Thank you.